Hi Leo, welcome to your year ahead Taroscope forecast with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much to all of you that helped me reach 30,000 subscribers last year. It was a true blessing. Thank you so much. If you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And if you would like to donate to the channel because you feel like this video has helped you in some way, you can do so on the web link below. Before we start, I would like to bless all of my cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. I wondered what that was as the door shutting. So let's see what January has in store for us. And we get the World card, the Universe. I love this card. And so the Universe is effectively in the Rider-Waite deck. This actually represents the world. And when you get the World card, it's represented by Saturn. It basically means that one chapter of your life is done and a new chapter of your life is opening up. Now, the beauty of this for me is last year it felt like we had to be very responsive. It felt like we had to be very reactive. It was almost like every situation we had to respond to, we had to react with, we had to do something in response to another event or experience or person. And it almost feels like the universe is saying, right, this year you get to co-create it with me. This year I'm going to give you the chance to choose. I'm going to give you the chance to put your own input, your own stamp on it. What is it that you want from life? What is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you want to do? The World card is a beautiful card to start off with because it's almost like that blessing. It's like we draw a line under the last chapter and we move on to something brand new. And whenever you get the World card, you can guarantee that the old chapter is done. You're stepping into something, you're stepping into something brand new. You're stepping into the next phase of your life, which is absolutely awesome. I love that. As many of you know, I am a Leo ascendant, so this is relevant for me. I'm paying attention. So to clarify on that, what we get is the Magician card. Wow. I mean, this is ultimate power, you know, and the only thing really that's missing from this is the Fool card. The Fool card is the anomaly. It's the unknown. It's the surprise. If you want to talk about, you know, hard and fast rules, then the Magician would be the beginning of the brand new cycle. This is card number 1. The World card or the Universe card is the end. It's the completion, the culmination. So therefore, when you have the completion and the culmination, you take a step up. You take an elevation. January is going to be a really great month for us. It's going to be a really powerful month. And when you see the Magician card, this is about you stepping into your power, but it's also about you communicating with the world at large. This is about getting recognition. In January, you will have some kind of blessing, some kind of recognition, and you're going to look back on January and say, whoa, okay, that really was a power month. What a way to start the year. I mean, you've got the World card there that represents Saturn as well in the month of Capricorn, if you like. Then you've got the number 1 card in the number 1 month of the year. This is a powerful month for beginnings. January, you know, where most people are sluggish and they're sort of getting back to it after the holidays and stuff, it looks like Leos are going to be straight out of the gate, like, phew, let me go. I'm ready and raring to do this. And the Magician card also says that you will be becoming a master of something. You will be becoming a master of something. Because like I said, the World card draws a line under something and allows you to take a step up. It changes the status in some way, shape or form. The Magician card is the achievement of that status. The Magician card puts you in touch with the world and the creative power of the universe. Wow. So February, let's have a look. February, we get the Death card. So there is an ending coming in February. There is something coming to a close. There is a transformation that happens in February. So it's like kind of like you're straight out of the gate in January. February comes and it's like, right, okay, what is it that I need to remove from my life? How is it that I need to change things? And one of the things with the Death card is it always represents a transition from one thing to another. It's something changing. And it looks like in February, something needs to transform. When the Death card shows up, it usually allows you to have some input. What is it that you can remove from your life now in order to streamline it? And ultimately, when you're becoming a completely different person, when you're elevating in your status, there are certain things and people and experiences that you have to leave behind just by natural law, because you can't take everything with you. So let's have a look. Let's see what the clarifier is. The Judgment card. So anything from your past, anything that is an old thought form, anything that is something that used to hold you back, anything that used to, you know, that kept you held in a specific thought form or a thought pattern, is going to have to go. Old beliefs, old paradigms, old understandings of what and who you were and how you used to interact with the world are going to have to change. Who you are is going to have to change. It will go through a transition. You know, you yourself will go through a transition. It looks like as well, because Judgment is like the final call. Basically, it's like I call Judgment, even though it's represents the sign of Sagittarius, I always see the Judgment card very much as like a Mercury retrograde. It brings something back so that we can look at it, re-examine it, assimilate the lesson finally, and then lay it to rest and really lay it to rest. And with the Death card there, once you've laid it to rest, that will be it. It feels to me like some of you are going to hear that an ex-partner may have died. You know, a lot of people freak out when you start mentioning death in tarot and stuff, but you know, unfortunately some of this stuff comes up. But it looks like there's definitely a personal transition taking place, and it looks like somebody that you used to care about a lot. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a relative. It almost feels like somebody that you're no longer in contact with. That's the feeling that I get from it. And if it is a relative, then it will be somebody that is old. And when I say old, I mean old. But you know, on a personal level, there's actually a lot of positive change happening in February as well. You know, and like I said, any of these old thought forms or old patterns will have to change. They'll have to go. You'll have to throw them out in order to become who it is that you're becoming. March, you get the Judgment card again. Wow. So yeah, this is definitely taking place. And you know, for the month of March, you will be reassessing things, because there'll be a lot more changes coming, and it's kind of like you'll be cementing them. So February, you're really like going through the house, chucking things out, going through the mental house, chucking stuff out, going through the emotional house and chucking things out. You're really going deep into yourself to remove all of this old stuff that just doesn't serve you anymore. When you see the Judgment card, there's always a blast from the past, always, and there is always a big change that happens. So you're assimilating lessons continually throughout March and February as well. So let's see what March is going to bring you. You get the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is basically saying don't rush in. Because there's going to be lots and lots of messages. It looks like you get lots of emails, lots of text messages, lots of offers as well. And it's almost going to be like, you know, after going through this experience of clearing things out, it's almost like you're going to want to not run before you can walk, but you're going to want to do things a lot faster than they might be moving at the time. Have some patience. Take your time in March. You know, anything that's worth doing or having is worth doing well and worth doing right, is effectively the message for you there. So April, you get the Hierophant card. So you're making something official. You are getting established. April's going to be a good month for you, because you're going to be resetting the boundaries. You're going to be saying to people, right, this is what it is and this is what it isn't. This is what I'm willing to put my name to. This is what I'm not willing to put my name to. It looks like as well, March, well, yeah, with that Knight of Swords, it looks like a lot of you are moving, because for that to happen and then to go into the Hierophant, it looks like you're changing residence. And for some of you, this will be ahead of what you anticipated. It's almost like you wanted to move, but you didn't make the move just yet. The Hierophant card basically sees you finding that new place that you're going to go to, and saying, right, okay, I'm ready to settle now. But I kind of feel like the move happens faster than you anticipate. Which I guess is why I'm saying, you know, don't be hasty, take your time, because it will come, you know, it's going to come in its own time anyway. To clarify, you get the Six of Pentacles on top of the Hierophant. So for those of you that are looking to get mortgages, for those of you that are looking for grants, loans, April is a brilliant month for you. The Hierophant card represents the establishment, or the, you know, the institution, like, you know, so the banks or the mortgage lender or whatever. The Six of Pentacles is either an act of charity or a karmic debt paid. And because you've got the Hierophant there, this really feels to me like if you are owed money, you will see it returned to you in April. Probably in full as well with the Hierophant there. If you are yeah, you know, if you apply for a mortgage, if you apply for a loan, April will be the month that is going to be strongest for you to get that. It looks really powerful. It looks like, you know, this is the month where people say, yeah, actually, I'm feeling that for you, and actually, I'm happy to do that. With the Hierophant there as well, even though the High Priestess isn't present, I personally feel, because, you know, we've got the karmic debt there, I almost feel like, Leo, you're going to get some sort of, it's almost like some secret's going to be revealed. And when it happens, excuse me, when it happens, you're going to be like, whoa, okay, I didn't realise that. And it will come from an unexpected source. So keep an eye out for that, or an ear out for that. But yeah, I almost feel like you, in April, you'll be learning some kind of secret. You know, and it will revolve around something that somebody's done to you, or, you know, it's that kind of energy. So in May, you get the Hanged Man. So you're taking some time, you're taking a rest in May, and you are sort of pulling back and saying to yourself, right, okay, it's been a crazy 4 months up until now. Been some amazing things have happened, you know, some interesting stuff happened, and not only that, I feel a lot clearer. It's almost like you're going to be able to hear your spiritual self more. You're going to be more in touch with your guides, more in touch with the universe, more in touch with what it means for you to be spiritual. You're tapping into something really high in May. That's what I feel from it, especially as it falls underneath these two cards. You know, I really feel that it's almost like you're, like, I'm going to give myself over to live a spiritual life while I'm living my best life. And you're, you know, you're marrying the two. It also says that you're contemplating changing something. You're contemplating, you know, more reassessment. Interesting. So to clarify, you get the Four of Wands. This is really interesting, because after April, you know, where the mortgage is approved, or you get the lease for the new home, or, you know, you get the, for some of you as well, this relates to business. You know, like stepping into a business environment, or, you know, aligning yourself with a specific company. It's probably going to be quite an established one as well, and it almost feels like, you know, there's contracts and stuff being written between you, and a lot of it's going to be in your favor. The other part of this is, for those of you that this does relate to a home, in May, it's almost like, okay, well, now that we've moved in together, do we get married? You know, if we're already married and we've just bought a new home, this is about you really enjoying it, really taking, you know, May is the month where you say, right, okay, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to be grateful for what I have, I'm going to be open, I'm going to be warm. May is a month of celebrations, and it's not, you know, it doesn't, I mean, there will definitely be some parties and some celebrations, I feel that, especially from this card. But I almost feel like it's like inside you're celebrating as well, you know, and it's like, for some of you, April and May will bring you a milestone that you never thought you could reach. And, you know, maybe that's what the secret is. And this feels really big to me, guys. And I'm saying this because I'm feeling it for myself, and I'm, you know, trying to feel with my feelings, and that's all I'm getting from it. There's going to be something that enters your life around April and May that is really, really big, and it's beneficial, it's positive, it's beautiful, but it's going to be like, whoa, I never thought this could happen for me. I never thought that this, you know, experience, thing, whatever, would come into my life. And if I did expect it to come into my life, I didn't expect it to be so soon. So it's like the year is setting you up for everything that you asked for, but you've got to be on board for the ride. May will be a month of celebration, and it's a month where you are really kind of, it's almost like you're eating humble pie, but not from a perspective of like, oh, you know, I've got to eat humble pie. It's like you're sitting and you're just saying, wow, like, can I just take a minute to breathe all of this in? Is this actually happening? Is this real? Like, is this happening to and for me and the person or the people that I love? Yes, it is. And that spiritual gratitude, that heartfelt, you know, soul-felt, vibrational gratitude is going to open up things in an even bigger way, I believe. June, you get the Fool card. Brand new things, brand new places. This is the reset button. So it looks like it's, you know, that's the first bit of the year. And then June steps up and it's like, right, okay, now that you've got all of that, we're going on to another adventure. New things, new places, new people. June, you will be traveling. January, you'll be traveling. April, you'll be traveling. June, it looks like you're off on your travels again as well. You know, lots of places to be. And I get from this one as well, with the Fool card, it's not just a lot of single people, it's a lot of groups. I see you really interacting and interlaced with a lot of groups of people. You know, a lot of interaction with tribes, I guess, not necessarily tribes, but you know what I mean. So to clarify, the Six of Cups, beautiful. This is the second six that's come up as well. So 6 energy. What is 6 in numerology? Well, 6 is all about growth, expansion. It's abundance, but it's abundance in the home. It's abundance in the things that are comfortable and warm to us. It is home-based businesses. It is anything that we do in a personal way that puts us in touch with other people. And the Six of Cups, as you know, as an experience, is a trip down memory lane. It's nostalgia and it's beauty, and it's like remembering all the good times that you had. It's kind of like April and May will give you this like bang, amazing experience or object or thing or whatever, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, oh wow, I just can't believe this is happening to me. And then in June, it's like with all these new people and these new places, you get to not brag about your achievements, but you get to share with people the journey that you have taken in order to get to where you are now. And it's kind of like you're walking down memory lane. You know, you're having all of these connections come back, and it's like constant memories of, oh my gosh, I remember when that happened, and you know, that's a part of what I'm living and experiencing now. There's lots and lots of synchronicities shaping up for you in the month of June, and some of them are going to be really surprising, and a lot of them will reconnect you with people from your past, which is lovely, you know, really, really lovely. So July, the Sun. Really, it just gets better and better. July is basically, you know, is a power month for you. So we're just about heading into Leo season. Happy birthday for those of you that celebrate in the July sector. You know, the Sun card is beautiful. It's life affirming. It's powerful. It's joy. It's optimism. It's a blessing from the universe to say, you know what? Go ahead and enjoy yourself. Go ahead and revel in everything that you're doing. And this spirit of humbleness and, you know, like, oh my gosh, wow, is this happening to me? Puts you in touch with new things, new places and new people, but then sees you interacting with people from your past, you know, with places from your past. And you go back there and it's like, as an example, I'll get to the Sun card in a second. I remember when I was young, we used to go, my mum and we used to go driving around this place that had like a little brook and a little stream. And I remember I only ever went there twice. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, oh wow, it's beautiful here. I love it. It's really peaceful. You know, I'm only like 7 or 8 at the time. Years later, when I moved into my first flat, apartment, whatever you want to call it, It was the block was a brand new block. It was only 5 years old when I moved into it, and the block that I lived in was literally just round the corner from the brook that we used to go to. And that's what I'm saying, like, you're gonna, in June, you'll have these mad moments where you're like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I can't believe it. I remember having this amazing feeling about this place or about this person, and now I'm reconnecting with them in a way that I couldn't have even anticipated. That's one example of how it could shape up for you. Another one that really springs to mind is, if you've seen it, there's a guy that talked about a vision board that he created, and then when he moved into his dream house and started to unpack his stuff, he found the vision board and he was living in the house that was on the vision board. This is that kind of, June will be that kind of experience for you. July, blessed power month, you know, brings strength, optimism, personal vitality will be at a peak experience, which is lovely. And then to clarify, you get the 8 of Pentacles. So whatever you do for work, whatever you decide to build or put together or put out there in the month of July is blessed. Because the 8 of Pentacles is about work, doing the work, being at work, building, creating, making, business. And, you know, with the Sun card there, this is basically saying you've got it. Whatever you ask for will be delivered. Whatever you need will turn up just in time. July is an absolute, June, you know, May, June and July, absolute power months. You know, the 8 of Pentacles, stability as well, and the ability to create anything that you need or anything that you truly desire. August, happy birthday. Let's see. You get the Horned One. So this is, you know, it's not a great card because it's a card of addiction, but I usually say it's about something that we consciously tie ourselves to, that we, you know, it eventually runs away with itself. Now, never let it be said, it's almost, especially off the back of July, it's kind of like this thing that you create, or this business or this idea or this project you start working on will take on a mind of its own because it's so blessed. It's almost like the feeling that I get from the devil then is it's almost like you're going to be either work addicted, like addicted to your work, or you'll be so sort of like, oh, my baby, I created this, you know, like the little fish from Finding Nemo, my bubbles, that you won't, it's almost like you'll be starting to slide backward where you won't enjoy it, and you'll be spending too much of your time and too much of your energy. Don't be afraid to help, to get people to help. Don't be afraid to delegate as well, you know, and also don't be addicted to this feeling of, you know, I have to be in control, I have to constantly be at work. Remember this moment of, you know, I mean, maybe that's why you're taking such a break in May, because you know you're going to be so busy in, you know, August, which is, you know, really interesting. So to clarify, get the 9 of Pentacles. So a part of your skill, Leo, is interaction with people. A part of what makes you, you know, so lovable and so awesome is that people relate to you. And, you know, the 9 of Pentacles is about how much skill you have at doing that. Interesting thing as well, you've got the 8 of Pentacles there, which turns into the 9 of Pentacles the month after. So your skills are, you know, one of your skills is how sociable you are, how good you are at working with other people, and, you know, delegating in a way that doesn't make people sort of feel inferior or anything like that. And the Devil card there is to remind you of that. Don't be afraid to share some of the responsibility, and don't be afraid to share your vision. Like, if you're bringing people on board for this project, business, idea thing, don't be afraid to tell them in minute detail, and this is how I envisioned it, and this is how I want it, and this is what it looks like when it's finished. If you share that with people, really go into the detail with them, they will see your love and passion, and they will want to help you achieve that. If you try to take it all on board on your own, the chances are you will burn yourself out, and, you know, you'll end up needing to take respite. So don't do that. September, let's have a look. You get Temperance, patience, taking your time. You know, this as well, I feel like September's going to be a reflective month in that The Temperance card represents inner and spiritual alchemy. It's about going deep within yourself and saying, right, okay, I'm ready to, I'm ready to transmute a certain type of energy now. I'm ready to use a different power pack. As an example, some people, you know, they go years being really angry, and then one day when that anger's gone, they're like, oh, okay, well, I feel like I've got no energy now, because they have to use a different source of power for, you know, for their energy. So the Temperance card in September is basically saying, have patience with other people, have patience with yourself, and ask yourself, what sort of, what place do you want to come from within yourself? Do you want to be, what, you know, what do you want your legacy to be? How do you see that or envision it shaping up for you? And to clarify, you get the Hierophant. So this is interesting because it looks like you're rewriting the rule book. You know, what people thought about you and know about you or have known about you, you're looking to change that in September. You know, where are you coming from? Where do you understand that? And the Hierophant card, like we already talked about, I think, did we? Yes, we did, is about the establishment. It's about the rules, the regulations. And it looks to me like some of you are taking spiritual journeys, like literal spiritual journeys, and you'll be going to places of really old architecture. Temperance is a very spiritual card. The Hierophant can be a very spiritual card, and in that it represents places that are, you know, linked to the older religions, so sacred sites, you know, especially with Temperance there. We're talking more things like the Stonehenge, you know, the giant man heads in Arizona, like really, you know, out there spiritual places. As a rule, this card itself represents the, you know, the big structural religions, but with Temperance there, we're talking about things that are deeply spiritual in nature as opposed to dogmatic. And it looks, but yeah, you're really rewriting the rule book on this. It's like you go through this massive metamorphosis, and spirituality is going to be a really big part of your life next year, Leo. You're really going to, you know, if people don't necessarily know you for that now, it will be something that they come to understand about you going forward, because it's going to start to permeate your entire life. And it's funny because, you know, I'm filming this in October 2018, and just now this stuff has started to kick in for me. Like I'm starting to build more and more of a spiritual practice on an everyday basis, and it looks like it's going to filter out into the rest of your life and really create some amazingly wonderful things for us. October, you get the Empress. All right, I love this energy because it's about beauty, it's about fun, good food, nice wine, lovely fabrics. And October is a month where you just want to enjoy. You just want to, you know, enjoy everything, take everything in. You're all about your spirituality in September. And October, you want to balance that out. You know, in fact, October, I think a lot of you will be going through a physical overhaul. You might be, you know, starting a new diet, changing your appearance, changing your wardrobe is probably a good way that this will work out. Some of you will go for a radical haircut, something different. Yeah, October's a really awesome month. It's going to bring you fun and frolics and frivolity. With the Seven of Swords, okay, so it's not a great card, guys. You know me by now, I don't bullshit you. Seven of Swords is not a good card. You've got all of this happening here in September with the spirituality and letting people know who you are. Having a really good time in October, but don't let it constantly be at your expense. Be aware and be alert for who is just a good time friend, i.e. who is the sort of person that's only around when they know that you're paying for everything. Keep an eye out for that, you know, and yeah, just, that's what I have to say on it. So, that's the magpie I can see as well. He agrees as well. Be selective and discerning about supposed friends and good time people in October. You know, and who is always expecting you to put your hand in your pocket because you've had such a good year. Yeah, anyway, November. The Star card. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. You're looking to build a community in November. You want to surround yourself with the right type of people, and in October you'll be discovering who the right type of people are not for you. So November, the star card, this is hope, it's optimism, it's joy, but it's also finding your people, finding people that are on your wavelength. And it's almost like you get a glimpse of, right, I've had this amazing year, what's next? Where do I go from here? How do I build on this? What is in the future for me? The star card always, you know, is always a glimpse into your future. It's always a glimpse into what is beyond and bigger than the now. And to clarify, you get the Four of Cups. So you're really kind of getting back to this feeling of gratitude and saying to yourself, right, okay, what is next? And the Four of Cups always brings you something in your immediate circle that you don't realise, you don't recognise. And it's, you know, you're already demonstrating a lot of gratitude this year. So it's not about not being grateful for something. It's about not realising an opportunity that's right in front of you, especially with, you know, the star card, the opportunity card. Really do some deep thinking in November, and the reason I say that is because by doing so you'll start to realize that in your immediate circles are, you know, people that can actually be the opposite of this, people that can facilitate stuff, but more importantly you'll be stumbling upon ideas that have really far-reaching ripples for your life that can bring you some truly amazing and wonderful things. And then finally in December, you get the Hermit card. So you're closing down, you know, you're drawing in for a bit in December, which is fine. It's winter, isn't it? It's like the deep winter. You know, you're withdrawing a little bit from probably people, taking time to reflect, taking time to look over the last year, but also you're asking yourself, right, how can I improve all of this? You know, how can I improve on everything that I've done? Because the Hermit card represents the sign of Virgo. And Virgo has a deeply eliminative but also a deeply restorative you know, way of living effectively, doesn't it? So this is you asking yourself, okay, what, you know, what now? It's like you're going within and you're, you know, where you've been quite highly social for the whole year, December you will just want that space, you'll want that break just to take it down a bit. To clarify, I've got the Tower card. Oof. Okay, so December, out of all the months here that are challenging, possibly February is the biggest challenge though, you get the Tower card in December. And this is basically saying, if you don't look after your health, you will be forced to look after your health. December is not a month to push. December is a time where you might feel lonely, where you might feel alone, but you will also want that experience. You'll be needing it in some way, shape or form. To clarify it as well, you've got the Nine of Wands. Take care of your physical health in December. You know, nothing extreme, you know, even if you go somewhere hot for, you know, for December and you go somewhere nice and warm, no jet skis, nothing like that. December is a time to bring it down, to just be slow, be evaluative, look at your diet, really, you know, stay away from alcohol, any sort of extreme sports or anything like that. December is not the month. You know, and it's all right, it can't be sunshine and rainbows every single day, but there are some amazing experiences here for us in 2019 and I really can't wait to see what they are. I'm so excited. Your key to the year is death, transformation. There will be things that need to change. There will be people that leave your life. There will be people that come back into your life so that you can finally and truthfully and honestly and deeply in respect and love let them go. The death card also tells you that something or someone will be leaving your life, but ultimately who you were in relation to 2018 and the responsive and all the rest of it will be totally different in 2019 and from 2019. This is an amazing year. There's a couple of challenges there for you, as I mentioned, but it's a deeply spiritual year. It's a deeply healing year. It's a deeply powerful year. you know, and it will be everything that you can make it if you choose to. But ultimately, I can tell you, you're going to be very, very busy, Leo. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance itself. Have an amazing year. Stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you very soon. Take care.